Emily Epstein class of 2003, could not be with us today, but she did send in something that I'm going to read on her behalf about Thomas Chin, who's our next honoree. Emily writes, "When I transferred to Hackley my junior year, there was only one class I really wanted to take, Mr. Chin's photography class. I had transferred from a public school that didn't have much arts funding, let alone a dark room that students could use. It seemed like a magical place, dark but bright, red but warm, with classmates huddled under projectors, waving their hands like they were spells. I wanted nothing more than to be part of it. My senior year, when I was finally able to enroll in a photography class, I told Mr. Chin how badly I wanted to be one of his students and how I had spent the past year taking all the prerequisites. Now in my last year, he was struck. Why didn't I just come and ask him to enroll? I had never thought of that. I thought I had to follow all the rules, that he would never accept me cutting corners. But it wasn't that. He just believed in me from our first conversation. Mr. Chin patiently taught me the basics of photography, depth of focus, composition, aperture, shutter speed, and as each week presented a new challenge, I started to see my world in a different way. My Nikon FM2 showed me that my backyard could be a forest in the right light, and that my family's Passover table could transform into an HBO drama in an instant. Once I started exploring the world with my camera, I didn't stop. I joined my college newspapers, which laid the groundwork for a career in photojournalism. Every day, I got to meet new people and discover new ways of living in the world. The camera was my passport. I could go anywhere and have access to anyone. We kept in touch, and I came back to the Hilltop to share my work with his students. My clippings from the New York Times, photographs of the Patagonian sunsets, and images from the subterranean tunnels of the 2nd Avenue subway were all tied to his lessons. It's not an overstatement to say that I owe my career to Mr. Chin. Thanks to him, I have enjoyed a full life of impossible adventures." Thank you to Emily for submitting that.
Hi, everyone. First off, we're going to honor the extraordinary teacher of Doug Clark. He already has a gargoyle, so I'll just provide 3 glimpses into why he'll be perched among Hackley's greats. First, when you come into his advanced placement calculus class, it is kind of a competitive environment that Mike spoke of during his last presentation, and it does feel kind of wrenching to go up against the college admission process. But Mr. Clark quelled that competition and made it an expectation that we were all going to get the top grade of 5 on the advanced placement test at the end of the year, which we all did, and that he's done many times in his time at Hackley. He also invoked the Escalante teacher from Stand and Deliver, which he showed to us, where people achieve things because there is an expectation that they meet those demands. He also had an impressive coaching career of women's soccer, men's basketball, and golf. And even if you didn't have him in an athletic coaching sense, he definitely coached us all. The one other thing that struck me from his class many years later, I guess it was 15 years ago today, was the concept that when he asked you for a problem, he asked for a solution, not the solution, on a test. And if you think about it, how many times a textbook will say that there's a particular solution to a problem? But if you're in business or in life, you know that there's many ways to achieve that. So textbooks really obfuscate that mathematical reality. After his class, I went on to major in mathematics, and it was only natural. And I now, every once in a while, think about that concept that even if he didn't help me find a particular solution, it was that like learning method and that expectation that I could find it that I always think about. So here's to Doug Clark.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here. First and foremost, congratulations to Mr. Davies on his retirement. It was truly an honor and a privilege to learn from you for basically all 4 years that I was on the Hilltop. I actually lost my phone this morning and I had a bunch of notes on it, but perhaps this is the most fitting tribute. Much like Mr. Davies' classes, I will pretend to be prepared and improvise. Thank you. I thought I was really clever. Mr. Davies taught probably the single most important class I've taken in my lifetime. His class on the legacy of the American Civil War provided me with an ability to reckon with some of the most fundamental issues that we all face in our day-to-day lives. And it's really, the way I think about it is, I started school during a very transformative, traumatic event, 9/11. I ended school missing graduation due to COVID, two incredibly disruptive, transformative events. And Mr. Davies provided me and my classmates with the tools to deal with some incredible challenges. The most important thing I would like to say is that Mr. Davies is the type of person, was the type of teacher who made you want to come to school. And that's a very special characteristic, and it's very hard to get a group of young kids excited about anything related to school. So, Mr. Davies, congratulations, and thank you all for having me.
Hello, Adrian. It's Mike Mckindey, Hackley class of 2003. Congratulations on your retirement from Hackley. As you and I both know, you've played a major role in both bookends of my Hackley career. As a 7th grader, you taught me etymology, and then you gave me the most memorable hug after I secured my diploma on graduation day. Well, I am now pleased to have the opportunity to honor you. You'll always be part of my Hackley memory, and I'm so blessed and fortunate to have had you as a teacher. As the nation now grapples with new language and developing language, I'm so proud of the work that you've done. I also appreciate our email exchanges, especially during these difficult and remarkable times. You truly have a curious mind. As you go on to the next phase, I want to wish you good luck. But first, I'd like to say, cheers, my friend, and job well done. As you move on, remember to spread love like you've always done, and that we love you. Take care.
Hi, Ms. Reminar. So first of all, congratulations on your retirement. I am so very happy for you. You really deserve it. And I wish you all of the best. So congratulations. I also just wanted to take a minute to tell you how much you meant to me when I was at Hackley. You know, thinking back on my experiences there, and you were the best advisor I could have had. It was such a pleasure to be in your advisory for what I think was all of my upper school experience, and to also be a student in your classroom as well. You were such a supporter of me. You were such a rock, and I really don't know how I would have done it all, and I think you were the answer. You know, you always had my back. You were so kind and caring and non-judgmental, and you had such a sense of humor and a smile that would make my day just a little bit lighter and a little bit brighter. And I think that just really speaks to who you are as a person. You know, you're always looking out for other people and for other people's best interests. You're just so caring and selfless. So thank you so much for all that you do and for all that you've done for students at Hackley. We are all going to miss you very much, but I am so thrilled that you're retiring. So I wish you all the best, and congratulations and happy retirement.
Hi, Linda. It's Jean. I'm amazed that it's time for me to send you a tribute. My forever friend from Hackley, who I've known for 25 years now. We met when my younger son needed support services at Harrison Avenue School. You were there for him, for me, and for hundreds of other children since then. And I'm not sure we could have made this journey so successfully without you and your sweet and very patient guidance. As one of those warm and fuzzy types from Indiana, I've always loved my role as a college counselor, but sometimes my job got a little away from me. When a student would cross the line from sharing his or her story to a place where they began to share something that needed you to be a person listening to the story, you were always right there for them. And I mean, right there. I would always be able to walk around to meet with you for what would end up being a seamless transition. You're so good at what you do, so calm and collected, and yet quite warm and fuzzy yourself. It's a good combination. Just as I felt that we were a good combination, how many times did we go to bat together for that second and third and sometimes fourth time to get testing accommodations for students at Hackley? The goal was always to level the playing field, and you are a real pro at knowing when the field is level and when it's tilting a bit, one of your many talents. I'll also never forget seeing you leave Hackley one day in August 2001, and I couldn't catch you in the parking lot before you drove away. I later found out that you'd been hired as the support services director to start the same day I was to start in college counseling after my 5 very fun years in the HPA. What incredible luck that you were looking for a position at the same time Hackley was seeking a professional like yourself. Of course, Hackley was lucky, but I personally felt lucky as well because I knew Hackley was doing the right thing for its students, hiring the best. I miss seeing you every day, but love our Zooms and our soon-to-be regular hikes and walks. Congrats, Linda, on your next steps in your amazing life journey.
Hello there, Hackley. Hope everyone's having a great time on Alumni Day. I'm sorry I'm missing it. This is Scott Roberts from San Francisco, class of 1988. And I'm really honored to be able to say a few words about Phil Veriano and the occasion of his retirement. I joined Hackley in 1981 as a young 6th grader coming out of public school, greeted in the 635 homeroom by one Phil Veriano. And I learned a lot that first year about how to be successful in a new environment, how to be a little bit focused and take things more seriously, but also still have a sense of humor. My experience at Hackley was a great one. I was there for 7 years, and the last 3, I played squash under the tutelage of one Phil Veriano, the first coach of Hackley's squash program, and learned a lot continued about focus, about discipline, about commitment, but also, yes, having a sense of humor, which I think was super important. This weekend, actually, I was at a wedding with some other Hackley alums, and we were talking about him and his impact on the school and just commenting on how the place wouldn't be the same without Phil. And so I just wanted to say on behalf of the many, many alums, I think that were greatly impacted in a positive way, thank you, congratulations, best of luck in your next journey, and thank you so much. Really appreciate everything. Thanks, Mr. B. Appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. My name is Steph Frollo, class of 2014 alum and currently an associate teacher in the lower school. I consider myself fortunate to have known Miss White, and I'm very grateful to have had the relationship that I did with her. Pat White, or as most of us knew her, Miss White, had a tremendous presence and role in the Hackley physical education and athletic departments for the last 15 years. I've often attributed my own learned experiences of being timely and prepared to being an athlete on a team. However, when looking back at my time as a student at Hackley, I realized these skills were first instilled in me thanks to Miss White. Truly no other individual can move groups of middle schoolers in and out of the locker room like clockwork like Miss White did. She made sure that you knew if you were early, if you were late, or if you were on time. Knowing which category you fell into was essential, and you knew that you better be changed for PE class or sports practice and out of that locker room before Miss White did her second locker room check. My respect and admiration for Miss White continued to grow exponentially each year that I knew her, as I was able to learn more and more about the individual she was. Simply put, Miss White cared. How much Miss White cared about Hackley students, as well as her colleagues, was unmatched. Her passion for physical education and athletics is truly astounding, as is evidenced by her 42-year career in education. I want to thank Ms. White for her tireless dedication to the success of the Hackley student body, along with her colleagues in the physical education and athletic departments. I know I'm not alone when I say that her presence on the hilltop will sincerely be missed. I wish Ms. White nothing but the best in the next chapter of her retirement, and I hope that it's filled with lots of rest, relaxation, and everything she loves to do most.